All right. Welcome to the Conquering Hill Podcast Morning Talk Show. My name is Nicholas Gagnier, and any way you slice it, I'm going to dice it. I'm here to tell you what is cracking lacking today on January 8th, 2024. It's a new year. We're already into the second week. Um, Time keeps flying. There's no doubt about that. It was last month I was thinking about, do I really want to start this podcast? Do I really want to start this morning talk show? I was going back and forth in my head because I knew it would require a lot of discipline on my part to go Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. And I kept going back to the fact, well, I need more discipline in my life and I need more structure in my life. And so what I decided to do, I said, you know what, Nick, you're going to do this because not only are you going to go live at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, you're going to wake up early. You're going to wake up at 6 a.m. and you're going to exercise. You're going to get some meditation in, and you are going to create the best version of yourself for this year. I know every single year we always have you know, these things we want to change about ourselves, New Year's resolutions, eat less, stop drinking, stop smoking, weight loss, all this kind of jazz. It could be things with your finances you want to get together, you know, improving your mental health. All these things come in. We really focus on them towards the end of the year and kind of see where we're at, take stock where we are at, and we want to make changes. And this year, much like last year, where I threw myself out into the ring of motivational speaking, and I kind of morphed into podcast. Now I want to bring it up a level and commit even more this year, 2024, coming to you every single day live on Facebook Live, on YouTube, streaming every single day, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. And the replays will be on Spotify, YouTube as well, and my personal Facebook page. So, welcome to the show. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. Hopefully, I can create some value for you, some entertainment for you, and whether you are on your morning commute to your job, getting some exercise in early in the morning, or if you just want to listen to see what I have to say, I appreciate all of that. So, it's going to be a great journey. I'm excited. I'm excited to get to work. I'm excited to wake up at least Monday through Friday, real early, and start my day off the right way. Because I always feel like when I can wake up early, get some exercise in, whether or not with meditation or not, but if I can get exercise in before I really start my day, I'm going to have a great day. I'm not sure why I can't do it every day. That's why I kind of created this morning talk show, this podcast, to actually put myself in a position where I have to commit. I will hold myself accountable because now I'm out there. Now I've told you I'm going to go live Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. and I'm going to keep my word because I am a man of my word in today's day and age. A man's word, if you can hold that, that really shows what kind of character you have, um, what kind of person you are. That handshake, your word, that goes a long way in my book. I mean, I've traveled a fair bit. I spent a lot of time in Panama, and the common thing is, yeah, I'll be there tomorrow to work. Yeah, tomorrow, I'll be there. Yeah, okay. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say I'll be there tomorrow and they never show up, or I'll be there at 8 o'clock and they show up at noon. Things like that. Where just tell me, please, just tell me what time you're going to be here. Just tell me if you're going to be here tomorrow or not, because I will make plans. I have a life to live here, and I'm going to depend on your word to be here to work. If you're not going to be here, just tell me you're not going to be here. So yes, a man's word goes very far in my book, and so that's why I'm committed to this. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this journey, and if I can make it here, if I can be here next year, 2025, well, I know this year was a success. Not necessarily for the show, but more so for myself. Then I know I committed myself. I committed myself to exercise and meditating every single day when I wake up, and I know my chances of having a great day after doing those particular things right off the bat I'm gonna have a fantastic day. And that's what it's all about, because how many days do we have left, right? How many how many sunrises, sunsets do we actually have left? I don't know if I do wish, actually, now that I think about it, if we had a little, little ticking, little switch in the back, every single day, just it just switches, it just changes, a little clock, just goes down one. All right, you have 5,000 sunsets left. You have 10,000 sunrises left, something like that, to kind of put life in perspective and see how much time you really have left, because that is something we don't know, right? So it's very important that we do value our time here on this earth. And it's 2024. It's a new year, January 8th. We're ready to go. You know, I'm sure all of you have thought about, what can I do this year that's going to create a better version of myself? What can I do this year to have the best year possible? Right now, if you look at yourself and you understand where you are wasting your time, how much time you've already wasted, then you could probably start taking those steps to really um, pinpoint what you need to do to change, to actually, obtain more time. Sleeping is great. I love to sleep. My kids love to sleep. We all love to sleep and get some good rest. And I'll be honest with you, I need my 7, 8 hours worth of rest. Um, I can go without it, but if I go a string of days, hitting 5, 6 hours a day of rest, of sleep, that's going to catch up with me by the end of the week. So it's going to be important for me to make sure I'm getting my sleep throughout this process, and that actually will give some more structure and discipline into my life as well. So sleeping, getting your rest. Where are you? Exercising, maybe meditation, right? You can throw that all in there for your health, for your mental health, your physical health. Bring that in. What are you eating every single day? I know the stores don't might not necessarily have the best things for you on the shelves, right? There are certain things that the United States will sell to you, but are banned in other countries because they realize what is in it. So what are you consuming? When are you consuming those things? Are you eating a bunch right before you go to bed? I mean, I do it sometimes. I've done it, but I know if I cut myself off from food, about between 7 and 8 o'clock at night, I'm not going to gain all that weight. My body's going to digest that before I call it a night. So all these things are really connected on how you feel, how you feel that particular day, and that goes a long way, because if you wake up and you're not feeling well, whether or not you might not be sick, but you just don't have the energy. You're feeling lethargic. You know, you need to take a look at those things and what you're doing and what you can do about those things, right? Because it goes back to, how many sunsets and sunrises do you have today? How many do you have left? Right. So you really want to take advantage of your time here on this earth, because we do not know how much we have left, and there's nothing worse than regret. Regret you should have did things differently when you were younger. Regret, what you did or what you said. All these things that you wish you could change. But 20 or 30 years from now, or even next week, you might regret something that you did that you can't go back and change. You can't go back and try or create or build. So it's important to value that time. It's important to understand that you only have so much left. You and I, the person down the street, the taxi cab driver, the school teacher, the billionaire, we all have the same amount of time. It's just a matter of how we are using it. What are we doing with our time? Because it's going to keep ticking, it's going to keep moving. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to use it? So take a look at that. You know, 2024, it's always a great time to put things in perspective. And I want you to take a hard look at how you spend your time, how much time you've already wasted, and what you can do to utilize your time a little bit more, whether it's writing down a schedule, how you're going to start your day. You know, you might not get it right the whole time, but if you could take a pen to a paper right now and write down your perfect day. If you took that pen and you broke it down 24 hours and you wrote down specifically what you're going to do every single hour, and you tried and you actually gave a strong effort to accomplishing that, I guarantee your days will be better. They'll be more filled, you spend the time that you spend with your friends and family or at work. You'd be more on point. You would be more direct with everyone. You would be on your way to having a great day, a great week, a great month, a great year. So please, please take a look at your time. I'm taking those steps right now. I think we all need to value our time a little bit more. So I will leave you with that. So 2024, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. Um, it's going to be a great year. It's a big year. It's a leap year, right? February 29th. And what kind of odds do you need to have to be born on February 29th in the cosmos? Oh, you're gonna come into this world on a leap year, right? Well, happy birthday to you when it comes, right? So it's a big year. It's an election year. A lot of big changes happening throughout the world. We're not the only country in the world that has an election this year. There are many countries. So this is a big, big year for us. We're already in the second week. It already seems like, man, it's flying already. It is flying by already. So I just want you. So please take a look at these next 12 months. How are you going to make it your best year? What are you going to do every single month to have the best year of your life? This past year went by pretty fast. I think all the last couple of years have flown by. I think obviously the 2020 into 2021, the COVID year was just, it dragged. I mean, I think it dragged for everyone. The longest year of my existence for sure. But since then, the years have been flying. They've been going by at a very quick pace. Staying busy, life, working, spending time with family, traveling. It's not going to stop. So let's make this the best year possible. Let's make this the best year for yourself. And think about what you're going to do. Write down some goals. What are your goals for this year? They could be small goals. There's a great book from Jack Canfield that I read years ago called Success Principles. And in it, he spoke about writing down your 101 goals. So write down as many goals as you can. 101 goals might take you some time. If you have that time, please write them all down, no matter how small, no matter how significant, and start knocking them off one by one. It could be, your simple goal could be walking the dog at 8 a.m. every morning, or waking up at 7 a.m., going to the gym 3 days a week. Goals that are attainable, but also goals that are very, you know, in a way far fetched. Use your imagination, get creative. What do you think is like so out there that there's no way possible that you could actually reach those goals? But put those down, write those down, and you'd be surprised. But you will have to take steps to make them. But by writing down those goals, you're putting it out there into the universe that you want to obtain them. And also, he in his book, he wants you to write down 101 wishes. So what do you wish? Christmas just went by. I'm sure you all wished for some great presents. What are some of your wishes? Like, again, they could be small, insignificant, or there could be something that you really want in your life that you really wish that you would have, whether or not it's, that relationship with someone, a better job, you know, doing better in school. Could be material things, but either way you cut it, write down those wishes, write down those goals, and knock them off one by one. You know, every single every single New Year's Eve. since 2017, my wife and I will write down our yearly goals. And this New Year's Eve, we read our goals from last year. We really we wrote down, I think, we 40 something goals this past year, and we didn't do that well this year. We weren't able to check off as many goals as we liked. I think we might have hit like 16%. In the years past, we were hitting like between 30 and 40% of our goals. And we had a lot of changes going on this year. It happens, but we weren't precise. And I think you know, which isn't a bad thing, but our goals for the year, we weren't very, very specific in what we wanted, and we wrote down a lot. So, but it did feel very nice to check off the goals that we did accomplish. But looking at it, looking at our goals that we weren't able to accomplish, and understanding why we weren't even close, or we didn't put the time in, or what we did wrong. We wrote down our goals for this year. We wrote down 16 goals this year, very specific goals, very attainable goals, and they're big goals. So we wrote those down, and we want to attack the process. We want to put the time in to obtain those goals, because you could write down any goal or wish you want, but unless you have some form of plan of action of what you want to do, what's your intention, how you're going to get there, it's going to take time. Nothing just magically appears for you. I wish it did. I wish it, just poof out of anywhere, and we have what we want. That moment is here, but that's why it's so sweet. That's why it's so sweet to win. That's why it's so sweet to be successful, to see a plan go through. Um, because you put the time in, you put the effort in, and there's nothing more valuable on this earth than time, and for effort. And if you can be proud of yourself, and you're honest with yourself, and this is my 100%, I'm giving 100% right now towards this project, towards this idea. And if when you do, and you see that you were able to accomplish it, you know, that feels good, and it makes you hungry and you want more. So this year, me, my wife and I, we wrote down our 16 goals, and we are going to crush them. Um, I think on average, we read a stat. I think on average, if you write down your goals, you will hit them around 40% of the time. 40% of the time. So that's an average. And if you write down your goals and you share your goals with someone, you'll be more apt to obtain those goals as well. So remember that. So don't be shy with the goals that you write down. Share them with your friends and family. And sometimes those are our biggest critics, right? Sometimes those are the people that put us, they shut out our ideas. They tell you, you can't do that. Are you crazy? And that does hurt when you have this idea and you want to do something, you want to accomplish something, and, someone that you love deeply, or someone that you care about, and their opinion matters, you respect their opinion, and all of a sudden they say to you, Nick, you can't do that. Nick, you're not smart enough. You're not strong enough. You're not creative enough. That will shut you down right there. That'll stop you right there. Or or that can give you the fuel. And sometimes that's what you need. You need that negative energy to turn into a positive energy, right? So you can't allow that to knock you down. You can't allow that to stop you in your tracks. So whatever goal you decide to write down today, or goals, hopefully, whatever you decide to write down today, please share it with someone. Maybe you'll get some positive feedback also. Someone can give you a different idea, a little spin off on that particular goal, and tell you how to get there a little better, show you what you can do, you know. So please, please don't be afraid to share those goals. So 2024, once again, now time, your time is very, very valuable. Don't waste it. Goals, be specific in what you want this year, right? Write down those goals. Be specific what you want today. It doesn't have to be necessarily yearly list. It could be today's goals, this week's goals, this month's goals, and it could be anywhere, anything from work, family related, you know, fitness related, financial goals, you know, you set the parameters on that, right? It could be wide ranging, it could be specific, but put it out there. But you have to be serious about it too, you have to put that work in. So we have our value in time, we have our goals, and then also the process. What are you going to do to reach those goals? How are you going to get there? If you look at each goal, underneath it, you're going to think, all right, what do I have to do to get there? What am I going to have to who am I going to have to speak with? What am I going to have to maybe buy? You might have to invest in something to get to this goal. What am I going to have to do? How am I going to get there? I want a better job, you know. Do I have to go back to school? Do I have to learn a new skill? Right? I want a better relationship with my children. Okay. Spend some more time with them. Family game night. What are you gonna, be present. Speak to them more. Family dinner. Put the phones down at dinner. Put the devices down at dinner. Have a conversation, right? How about a better relationship with your spouse? You know, weekly date. Again, at dinner, put the devices down. Have a conversation. Be spontaneous, right? So, no matter what you really want to do, there's gonna have to be some effort on your end. You know, We- you want people to meet you halfway, and sometimes they do in particular things, but in the end, it really comes down to yourself. It comes down to how much time and energy you are willing to put in to exactly what you want. So you decide how far you want to go. You decide how awesome you want to be, how great you want to be. Do you want to be just average in whatever you're doing, whatever job you are at, whatever class you're taking? Do you want to be phenomenal? Do you want to be just average and go through this life living an average life? Do you want to inspire others? Do you want to motivate others? Do you want to be a leader? Do you want to be a follower? Do you want to be a loser? Or do you want to win? That scoreboard up on the wall, you know, it's not going all the time. That clock's ticking figuratively and spiritually in your world. But that scoreboard that's on that wall right now, there's one opponent. It's your team and the opponent's yourself as well. You think the whole world's against you, you think this person's against you, but they're not. Stay in your lane, focus on what you need to do. It's just you versus yourself. And a perfect example is this: waking up, committing to being here, speaking to you on this show, 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. But I have to wake up earlier than that, right? So I want to put the time in. I want to get better. So it's a battle. It's a battle right now between myself and I. So I joked with my wife. So how long do you think I can? How long do you think I can do this for? What's going to happen first? Am I going to quit, or am I going to get canceled? And she laughed. She's like, "Ah, definitely canceled." And there's probably some truth to that, but you never know. I'm going to try to keep it clean. I'm going to try to, expand my vocabulary and not be so vulgar. Um, but I'm not a quitter, because that's when regret sets in. When you quit something that you love to do for whatever reason, that's when regret would set in. I've quit things in my life, quit drinking, quit smoking, things like that, but I'm not a quitter. you know Sometimes times do get tough and you just want to stop. You want to quit. You want to, like, this is pissing me off, and that happens. I'm going to quit this. Can't do it. Again, it's a battle between yourself every single day. You're waking up in that morning, you're brushing your teeth, looking in the mirror, just you versus you. How great do you want to be today? How far are you going to push yourself today? Right? and you have to push yourself. You have to learn how to push yourself by yourself, right? I mean, maybe you can put on some music or some motivational videos, or you listen to podcasts, and they'll help you for a little bit. Maybe you listen to this, and I can inspire you for a few minutes, motivate you for a few minutes. But when you turn it off and there's no one around, who's pushing you to be better? Who's pushing to get that job done, to finish that project, to create this new idea that you've been waiting for, you know? So how many people want, I mean, everyone has ideas, but do you actually try to see them through? Everyone has dreams. Do you actually try to live them? So these are the questions you need to ask yourself. How far are you willing to take it? How much time and energy are you willing to put in to live your dream, or to create that idea, to write a book, to write a song, to build a table, to build a chair. These are the things that you're the only one who's going to be able to do it. There's no one else, you know. So now we've established who's in control for this 2024, right? What are we using to get there? What are we using? We're using all our energy to become a better version of ourselves, to create a better life for ourselves and our family as well. When you have that structure in your life, and you can work towards your goals and dreams at a particular time during the day, then you can take a break and give 100% effort towards your family, towards your children, towards your spouse, towards your friends, 100% towards your job. You know, it really shows how much character you have and what you actually care about in this world. Because you can't take anything for granted anymore. I think 2020 surely showed us that there's no reason to waste any time. There's no reason to take anything for granted anymore, because everything could just be taken away at any moment. You know, tomorrow's not guaranteed. In the words of Apollo Creed, there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. And that is so true. There is no tomorrow. It's only now. Right? You can put on your Van Halen song right now, and you can rock that for a little bit. What are you waiting for? Right? Right now. Remember that. If you're awake, you got something that you really want to do in this world, some big idea that you really want to start. And that's what it really comes down to. Just start. Action. Just take action. Just take action. Move towards it. Move towards that one thing that you really are passionate about. Because I mean, we've all had jobs in our life where we didn't particularly like it for whatever reason, but we had to go to work, and we had to put in that time and make that money, put food on the table, pay the rent. But if you can find your passion, something you love, it won't seem like work anymore. You'll actually enjoy doing it, probably be more productive at it, you know. And even if you do have to go to that job you don't particularly like, but when you get home from work, there's that window of opportunity of time to actually put some time in towards something you want to do in your life. Maybe you want to learn a different language. Maybe you want to learn how to play the guitar. You know, you want to learn a new skill. Use that time from when you get home from work and utilize it and become better. So you don't have to go to that job that you hate for the rest of your life. Right? So it's 24 hours in a day. How are you going to use that time? How are you going to use that time? But you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of your mind. You got to take care of your body. I think, obviously, I don't have to tell you, there's definitely a mental health crisis going on in this country right now. Maybe this world too. Haven't been everywhere, but in this country, it's fair to say that people don't have their heads on straight. Go out in the public, you know, you can talk to a few people like, what the? So take care of yourself, number one. You have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. I know that might sound selfish in a sense, but if you're not operating 100% or close to 100%, if you're not taking care of yourself, your mind, and your body, what can you give? What can you give to your loved ones if you're not operating at an optimal level? So please take care of yourself and prioritize that time every single day. It doesn't have to be much. It doesn't have to be much. I mean, if you could muster up 15 to 20 minutes for some exercise every single day, that'll change your whole life. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. I mean, I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is I hammer out 41 push-ups. I'm 40 years old, so I do a push-up, one push-up more than my age. Roll out of bed, 41 push-ups. And that starts my day. And it's not a heavy exercise, but I have to do it. Like mentally, I have to do push-ups when I wake up in the morning. I've been doing it for, I don't know, going on a few years now. If I don't, if I realize I didn't, like I just feel off for whatever reason. I just feel off. So I do hit that. And obviously now, Monday through Friday, I know I'm waking up early to put some exercise in. But if you could just muster 10 to 15 minutes a day just to do some exercise, push ups, jumping jacks, moving your body, going outside for a run, whatever the hell it is, if you can dedicate that, and it's not a lot of time, you know that. You know that. You can scroll on your phone for 10 15 minutes. It's the blink of an eye, right? So you owe it to yourself. You owe yourself that, right? And you'd be surprised how much that could change your day, your life, and your year, right? So if we break it down for just this year. I know we want to have 5-year goals, 10-year goals, and those are great things. But it's time to be in the present. It's time to be focused on what we need to do today to have that better tomorrow, to have that better year, to have that better 5-year. So be present. In order to do that, you're going to have to focus on every moment, every time. I mean, I get, I do it. I have a conversation with someone says something to me. I didn't hear exactly what they say. Ask my wife, Nick, you're not even listening to me. Will you listen to me? So my daughter, same way. Dad, you're not even listening. So you have to be present. You could be standing right there, but you're not listening. You have to be in the moment. So stay in the moment wherever you are, whatever you're doing. You know, Stop daydreaming in a sense, right? So you can do that. You have the power to do that, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised how how much you can fit into a day, which goes back to your perfect day. What is your perfect day? What are you doing today? What if you only had 20, I mean, obviously you got to go to work, right? More probably not. Probably or maybe not. But if you could write down your perfect day and you had a lot 8 hours for that for your work day and you wrote down everything else, what would you do to make that perfect day? Not necessarily like, I only have 24 hours to live, nothing like that. If you could write down your perfect day, what is it? How would you how would you fit those things in? Knowing you had to work, but what other 8 hours, so 16 hours left of your day. Oh, you want to go to bed 7 8 hours. All right, now you're at 15 16 hours wasted. I should say wasted, but 15 6 hours used up. Still got another third of the day left. What the hell are you doing with a third of the day? How are you not getting better? How aren't you enjoying life in that third of the day? Right? It does come back to you want to enjoy life too, right? We don't want to be. I know it's a rat race sometimes. Most of the time here in America, or at least I know that's the difference between being in Panama when I'm in Panama and here. I feel the rat race here because I'm working a lot more, which is fine. We all need to make money, but time goes by a little bit differently when all you feel like you're doing is working and sleeping and you had those 8 hours. But if you take those other 8 hours in your day and you actually utilize them and use it to your advantage, I think you become the best version of yourself within a week. Put that time in. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself, right? We always say get out of your comfort zone. Well, yeah, that's great and all. But how about you challenge yourself? It's you against you. You against you. You're gonna quit. You're gonna see how far you can go. You're gonna win. You're gonna lose. You're gonna rest. You're gonna keep pushing forward. You're gonna exercise. You're gonna sit on the couch. You're gonna eat a bunch of crap. You're gonna drink. You're gonna smoke or you're gonna exercise. And you go outside for a cigarette or you're gonna put some push-ups down. You're gonna lift those weights, or what? You're gonna go out and get hammered. And your next day is wasted, literally. Right? That's one reason why I stopped drinking years ago. Not that I was getting drunk and like the next day was a complete hangover, but like I don't know how old I was, maybe 34, 35. But I have a beer, and one it does. Don't get me wrong, it tasted fantastic. But like after it, like I started feeling like, oh, why am I getting tired? Drink one beer, I'm now getting tired. So that one beer wasn't enough because I also started getting tired. Have a couple, and if and after that, I wake up, I don't feel particularly the same. But then you hit the six pack area, then all of a sudden the next day, it's like, ugh, why did I do that to myself? Waking up early with kids, crying, and babies, and all that stuff. So I'm like, you know what? There's no point. There's no point. Now, don't get me wrong. I see a nice cold beer on certain days, like, oh, that tastes so good. But no, and I don't begrudge anyone who does it. I mean, I understand, but at least if you're in my generation, you're my age range, you're hanging around 40 years old, even the 30s or 50s, whatever the hell it is, and you're getting hammered, you will waste your following day just being hungover. I can't do that. I don't want to do that to myself. So if you want to have a social drink, New Year's night, New Year's Eve, have a beer, celebrate it, whatever. I'm not judging you for that. But if you're still drinking, getting hammered, your 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 priorities are all mixed up, way way out of whack. You don't need to be doing that anymore. So take a look at what you're consuming. I've been a smoker throughout my life, smoking spliffs, cigarettes, whatever the hell. And I know when I'm doing it, I shouldn't be doing it. But it tastes so good. I just want to relax. But then what? Right? So being sober for this long is has given me an appreciation of what life is in a sense. I look back at my 20s and I was high probably the whole time, like Jesus Christ, how much weed I smoked throughout my 20s. I'm surprised I still got some brain cells left after all those years. And they go by fast. And you're young and you're supposed to do those things and whatever. But I wish I could have had some of that time back and maybe spent it differently. But then again, every decision I've ever made has created the person I am today. So that's why it's important to start making some positive decisions, start taking care of yourself because it will create the person you are in the future. So step by step, one decision at a time, one day at a time, one moment at a time. Right. So if you can actually be honest with yourself and you can look in the mirror and think to yourself, I'm gonna do a great job today at work. I'm gonna actually put 100% into my job today. I'm gonna push myself today. I'm gonna challenge myself today. That's something to be proud of. Excuse me. Well, 2024. 2024. Where the hell has the time gone? Oh man, how much time do we have left, right? How much time do you have left? We don't know. We don't know, but we know we have now. We know we have today. You can look outside. Maybe you're seeing that snow outside. Maybe you're seeing a sunny day. Depends where you are. It's still the same moment. We're all in the present right now. Same year. We got it. All depends on what we want to make of it. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do this year to make it the best year of our life? How are we gonna create the best version of ourselves? You are in charge of that. You will decide how far you go this year. You will decide how great you become. or if you're just going to stay down there in that lower level of being average and mediocre. And if you're content with that, you want to float through life with it like that, it's your decision. But I have an idea if you're going to be listening to this podcast, I think you're wired a little bit differently. So thank you for listening. Happy New Year. I know I'm a week late, 8 days late, but Happy New Year. I'll be here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m., coming to you live on Facebook Live on my personal page and also YouTube. And you can find this podcast also at Spotify. Thank you so much.